Imagine a scenario where the President of the United States openly pushes for investigations into his detractors, leading to real legal actions that many view as retaliation. That's the tense reality unfolding with cases against Donald Trump's vocal critics, and it's sparking heated debates about justice versus politics. But here's where it gets controversial. The latest charges against former National Security Advisor John Bolton appear to stand out, potentially more robust than those brought against others like former FBI Director James Comey or New York Attorney General Letitia James. Let's dive in and unpack why this might be the case, step by step, to understand the nuances without getting lost in legal jargon. Just 2 hours ago, Kayla Epstein from Bloomberg, via Getty Images, highlighted this unfolding drama. President Trump has been transparent about his wish to see his critics face legal consequences, urging the Justice Department to pursue people like Comey and James. In a recent post on Truth Social, he exclaimed, "We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility." He pointed to his own impeachments and indictments, 4 criminal cases after leaving office in 2021, plus James's civil lawsuit, and noted that both critics have now been charged. Experts often describe these as potentially politically driven, with slim chances of success in court. Yet, Bolton's situation seems different, according to legal experts and ex-prosecutors. Comparing Bolton's charges to those of Comey and James is like pitting apples against oranges, remarked Mark Lesko, a former acting U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of New York. Bolton, who served as Trump's national security advisor, has been indicted on 18 federal counts related to mishandling classified information. Since departing the White House in 2019, he's become a sharp Trump critic, labeling him stunningly uninformed and unsuitable for office in his memoir. And this is the part most people miss. While political motives might lurk in the background, the steps taken to build this indictment and the gathered evidence suggest a tougher prosecution than what Comey or James faced. The alleged wrongdoing here is not only more severe, but also seems to have stretched over a considerable time frame, explained Carissa Byrne-Hessick, a professor at the University of North Carolina School of Law. For beginners wondering what classified information entails, think of it as sensitive government secrets, like top-secret plans or intelligence, that must be handled with extreme care to protect national security. Mishandling it can endanger lives or compromise important operations. The allegations paint a concerning picture. During his tenure and after leaving, Bolton is accused of riskily keeping and sharing these classified documents with family via unsecured methods, such as through AOL. Some were marked as top secret, meaning they contained information so vital that unauthorized access could cause immense harm. Shockingly, prosecutors claim a hacker once infiltrated an account storing these files and issued a threat to unleash the biggest scandal since Hillary Clinton's emails were leaked. Bolton entered a not guilty plea in court on Friday for all 18 charges. Is this payback or a solid legal push? The indictment's timing, right after Comey's and James's charges, fuels suspicions of political influence on the justice system. Trump has publicly sneered at Bolton, calling him a sleazebag and hinting he deserved jail. Bolton, in turn, penned a scathing book about his Trump administration experiences. There's no denying that the timing, alongside other cases, raises eyebrows about the motives and urgency of these charges, said Jamil Jaffer, founder and executive director of the National Security Institute at George Mason University's Antonin Scalia Law School. But he cautions, if the Justice Department can back up the claims with proof that the info was legitimately classified, his actions might indeed break the law. To give you a sense, prosecuting high-level officials for such mishandling is uncommon, but not unheard of, noted Carrie Cordero, a senior fellow at the Center for a New American Security. These cases are tricky due to the classified nature, but they've targeted everyone from entry-level staff to top brass. For example, think of past incidents where lower-level employees faced penalties for accidental leaks, or high-profile cases like the prosecution of officials involved in the WikiLeaks saga, though those were more about espionage than mere mishandling. Interestingly, Bolton's case echoes issues in investigations involving Trump and former President Joe Biden. Trump was charged with improperly storing classified docs at Mar-a-Lago and hindering their return. But a judge dismissed the case, and his later re-election complicated things further. Biden faced scrutiny for similar storage mishaps from his vice presidency days, yet no charges were filed. Bolton's matter shares parallels with Trump's and Biden's document woes, observed Mark Lesko, who also held a key national security position at the Justice Department. Strict rules govern classified material. To secure a conviction, prosecutors must show Bolton knew the info was classified and intentionally passed it to unauthorized recipients. Given the sensitive classification, we lack specifics on why items like diary entries or email details are considered classified, Jaffer added. This opacity makes it hard to judge, but it also highlights the unique challenges in these prosecutions. The scrutiny on how the Justice Department handled this will intensify, especially with Trump's public calls for action against foes and the subsequent indictments. However, Lesko believes Bolton's case followed standard procedures. The prosecution and indictment adhered to usual protocols, including internal Department of Justice norms, he said. Unlike Comey's brief, 2-page document, Bolton's indictment is a thorough, traditional one outlining facts and circumstances in detail. It aligns with historical cases where officials mishandled or shared classified data, Lesko noted. So where does this leave us? On one hand, some might argue this is pure political retribution, a tool for silencing critics in a divided nation. But here's the controversial twist. What if it's a legitimate enforcement of laws meant to protect our country's secrets, applied fairly regardless of status? Experts like Hessig and Jaffer suggest the evidence points to a stronger foundation, yet the timing invites skepticism. Do you see this as a fair application of justice or an abuse of power? Is it possible for politics and legality to coexist in such cases, or are they inevitably intertwined? Share your views in the comments. Do you agree Bolton's case is distinct, or is it just another round in the political arena? Let's discuss.